What's up, KGS? Headmaster here. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday. On this week's theme of sport, Wacky Wednesday, obviously named after the literary legend that was Dr. Seuss. And whether you enjoy Wacky Wednesday, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, or Green Eggs and Ham, or any of his other great works, I'm sure you'll get where I'm coming from. So we're going to focus on some sporting literature and some sporting wackiness. But before we get there, let's start with the shout out. So firstly, congratulations to Adam in the 4th year on achieving his gold commendation certificate. I know loads of you are working towards it. Adam, many congratulations to you. Let's all keep picking up those commendations and those certificates. Congratulations to Cameron picking up a KGS Headmasters commendation, a special one for his work with his sister Cordelia and with Wimbledon and the Dons kind of local action group who are supporting old people in their area, making sure they get kind of fresh fruit, veg, and a little bit of human contact. So well done, Cameron, for that. Featured on the ITV News, no less. Well done. Where else are we? We've got Mr. Tierney's Melody and Lyrics Challenge, which is on Firefly, announced on Friday. Hopefully a lot of you tapped into that. If you haven't, go on Firefly, look it up. The Lyrics and Melody, or Melody and Lyrics Challenge. Get involved. If you're particularly musical, no reason not to. If you're not musical, no reason not to. Let's get involved. Let's give it a go and let's see what happens. Thank you to Mr. Tierney for organising that. Now we've got lots of pictures being produced for the Nightingale Hospital. We've got a link with the Nightingale Hospital through one of our parents and governors, who I won't mention by name for fear of embarrassing anybody. But we've also got lots of other, we've mentioned before, alumni, parents, community, frontline workers, key workers, people within the NHS. But we're producing these pictures for the NHS hospital, the new Nightingale Hospital. They've got a wall of stuff going on to brighten things up from schools and organisations across the country, and KGS is going to take over a section. So do produce things, and it's been organised by the art department, by heads of year and by others, collecting and collating so we can send it off and have that display. And I think that's particularly relevant and pertinent at the moment, not just because of the connections that we have, but obviously yesterday with that minute's silence, which was hugely appropriate and significant in terms of remembering that we're all in lockdown, self-isolation, we're all suffering a bit, but actually people are giving up their lives to protect us and they're putting themselves at risk. Hopefully not too many more people will have to pay the ultimate price for us to get through this, but we know there's people who are prepared to do so to keep us safe and well. So to have that mini silence yesterday and the clap for our carers on Thursday, I think is hugely significant. And if what we can do is produce a picture that goes off to the Nightingale Hospital just to brighten it up a bit, then let's do that. Let's do it with relish and do what we can in terms of giving back and supporting. I know loads of you are doing all kinds of things, raising money, doing challenges, supporting community. I'm really proud of all of that. Let's all do what we can, please. Birthdays, Tom and Alice in the lower 6, Will and Theo in the upper 6. Will, one of my regular watchers on the live stream. So to all 4 of you guys, all 6 form birthdays today, many happy returns. Hope you have a great day with your family. Hope despite the lockdown you still get to touch base with your friends. And because it's your birthday, not only many happy returns, but I hope it brings everything that your hearts desire. I hope you have a really great day. Happy birthday to you all. Okay, let's go for a bit of wackiness, some strange sports. We might not be able to try these at home, but let's see if you can invent your own strange sport. Or maybe you've got one at home. Maybe you play a bit of balloon tennis indoors. Maybe you do something in the garden that's not the regular kind of catch and throw. Maybe there's a game you've had going on in your family that kind of is slightly strange. Let's have a photo, let's have a video, let's have a description, let's have a bit of fun. What are the games you play that's slightly wacky? There's lots around the world that I wouldn't approve of in terms of kind of things that they're doing that aren't particularly very safe or always very kind. But some of the funnier ones that I looked up online, things like camel racing, cheese rolling, bun climbing, pumpkin chunking. You can have a go at pumpkin chunking if you want to kind of create a mini model trebuchet and see how far it can flee. That's kind of what pumpkin chunking's all about, and various other bits and pieces going on. So there are some weird and wacky sports out there, and maybe you've got one or two of your own that you'd like to add to the list. So do get in touch. All social media channels, obviously comments on the YouTube video, replies. Do get in touch and let me know what's going on. In terms of the literary element, let's go for a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go number 5. Which one's going to slip into number 5? Let's go. I really like it. There's a lot of great cricket books out there. A lot of great cricketers I love, autobiographies, biographies, test series, the Ashes, lots of great, but I like A Lot of Hard Yakka by Simon Hughes, the description of a professional cricketer's life on and off the field. Very funny, often outrageous, but a really good insight into the life of a professional cricketer. And we all know Simon Hughes now as the commentator, so we can associate with him, and we kind of recognise him and hear his voice coming through in that book. It's a great book. So that's number 5. Number 4, going to go for The Fight by Norman Mailer. Great piece of American literature. I often find it difficult to dip into American literature. I find the style of writing is very different, but I like Ali, Foreman, that whole fight, the kind of the rumble in the jungle, the fight in Africa. I think it's a great piece of literature and worth a look at. And if you can't take the book, have a look at the film. Lots of great stuff about Ali in that era when we were kings, etc., etc. Where are we at? Number 3. Let's go for... I'm going to go for Nick Hornby's Fever Pitch. I think it's a great book about being a fan. I know it's associated with football. I know he's an Arsenal fan. But actually, it's a great book about reminding us what it means to be a fan, how we get involved, how we embrace it, how it becomes so much of a part of our lives, and why we follow whatever team we do and whatever sport we do. So I'm going to go for that as number 3. Number 2, I'm going to go Moneyball by Michael Lewis. It's a great movie with Brad Pitt, but I think it's an even better book. That insight into how the kind of unfairness of baseball was unravelled by statistics. And I think that's, again, a great insight into kind of sport, and it's a great book to read. Really insightful, really well written. One of the greatest sporting books, I'd say. My number 2. And number 1, just pipping it, and I was kind of torn between these two. Again, it's a great movie, but I'm going to go for Friday Night Lights, written by the journalist Harry Buzz Bissinger, and that's a great book about how important football, or in this case American football, is within the town, within the area, within the team, within the college. So I think that's another great kind of insightful and really well written book, and one of the kind of best sporting books of all time. So there's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for you. Lord Ardyacker, The Fight, Fever Pitch, Moneyball, Friday Night Lights, and always worth a read while than watching the movie if you can. Let's finish on the quote. So slightly kind of wacky. Lots of sportsmen come up with some really strange quotes. Greg Norman once said, "I'd like to thank my parents, especially my mother and father." Paul Merson said about Arsene Wenger, the new manager's giving us unbelievable belief. So lots of sportsmen are prone to coming out with quotes. I'm sure lots of people, but it's often reported as sportsmen. So pick your favourite funny quote. Reply it back to me, stick it on Twitter, go for it. But here's the important one, and I'm going to go for one of Paul Merson's teammates, Tony Adams, a man that had his demons on and off the pitch, but as a pro footballer, really well regarded, and as an ex-footballer and now redeemed character, I think really well regarded too. And he said this, he said, "Play for the name on the front of the shirt, and they will remember the name on the back." Have a great day, everybody. Keep working well, keep being happy, thinking of you all. Headmaster out.